Hello and welcome. This video is going to be a review of Dread God, the 11th book in the Cradle series by Will White. Just like with all the other books in the Cradle series, I consume this via Audible, and Travis Baldree again does a absolutely wonderful performance. Like the title of this video suggested, this book is pretty much Lyndon and friends against everybody. The book picks up where the last book, Reaper, left off, and Ethan is now gone. Asriel was returned, not necessarily willingly, back to the Abaddon, and Asriel has basically just saved Cradle from total annihilation from the Mad King. And Cradle is reeling from that. I mean, the world literally almost ended. In addition to that, the Dread Gods are now awake. They are really awake because in Reaper, the slumbering wraith was slain by Rhaegon Shen. And whenever a Dread God is slain in Cradle, all the other Dread Gods basically evenly split out, get their power. So if there are 5 Dread Gods and the slumbering wraith is dead, then that power then gets funneled into the other 4 Dread Gods. And so instead of just having them be like awake and they kind of amble around, feed on stuff, make destructions until they get tired and go back to sleep, they're lucid now. It's not just they're awake and causing trouble, they're lucid and causing trouble. So the monarchs are scrambling and they're reeling, 1, from the near destruction of Cradle, and then 2, they're now having to defend their territories against the Dread Gods that are now all awake and lucid and actively attacking their territories. So in addition to that, there's now a big secret where Lyndon has had to sword Malice that he will not disclose the relationship between the Dread Gods and the monarchs. And the soul oath aspect of this book was very interesting. Like, he worked that very well into the story and the ramifications of that as well. I very much enjoyed that section of the book. This book is pretty much one conflict after another of one form or another. And I really liked the character development that happened during the story. You know, it's always been like a montage of getting stronger. There's a battle, there's always like something ahead you gotta fight for. But like really the final finishing of these characters to get to their final form in this book was really, really nice. I very much enjoyed Lyndon's arc to become Super Lyndon. Just leave it at that. Yaren, her whole story arc, especially with the Bleeding Phoenix, having to deal with Bleeding Phoenix, that was very well done as well. I really liked her relationship, developing her own powers now that she is no longer just a sword artist, she is a blood and sword artist. So that was actually really cool. Mercy kind of played a background role in this book quite a bit, but that was because of the fact that Malice is trying to keep her daughter away from her what she seems to be dangerous friends. Not necessarily dangerous in that they are powerful and they're going to hurt them, but dangerous in their ideology. And she wants to keep Mercy on Cradle. Remember, Mercy's supposed to be her heir. So if Mercy stays with the group, that might not happen. And Malice is all about control. We definitely saw that throughout the series. I also really love Zeal. I love that when he was introduced to us, I was just like, I really hope this Zeal character continues to play a part in the series because I just love my sad little emo boy. And the fact that he is now completely healed from his spiritual wounds and is now a fully functioning, integrated member of the party. Oh my goodness, I love that so much. I like the development of the companions as well. So Orthos and Blue. It's really nice just to have this fully fleshed out group of friends and compatriots, and they're like coming into their final form, and it just feels very fulfilling. And I've enjoyed that. There was one time towards the end of the book, where it's not gonna be a spoiler, where involving Larian, so one of the 8-man Empire one part of the 8-Man Empire. That part, like there was a part there towards the end that just made me laugh out loud. That was lovely. It probably is more impactful listening to it on audio than reading it, but listening to it on audio, like I said, Travis Baldree put his whole self into this performance for this book, and I really enjoyed that part. There was also moments of great sadness in this book, which I did not expect. I did not expect to have that kind of reaction to some of the parts of the book. You know, I've laughed a couple times because of the fact that the writing's very clever for Dross and for Ethan, and their relationship with each other and to the other characters, but to really feel a great bout of sadness during the book for some things that have happened that I wasn't quite expecting. I do appreciate that nothing seems to be off the table for Will White. I do appreciate that throughout the series that the characters have failed. They have not been successful in some things that they're trying to do, and they have been able to learn and move on from that and to continue to develop as characters and have that affect their relationships and their friendships. So I've really enjoyed that. This book was just full of conflict and action and build up, and I mean, I have a lot of very serious predictions for the next book. Also, I wanted to state that I will be doing a spoiler breakdown for all of the books, including Dread God, which I will give even more of my predictions for the next book, because we're gonna have to wait a little while for the next book in the series. But I do believe that the next book in the series, the 12th book of the series that hasn't been released yet, that's probably going to be the last book in this series. So, hello, Editing Bob here, and while I was editing this video, I did go ahead and check Will White's blog because he hadn't updated it in a while, and I am correct that the next Cradle book would be the last one in the series. So, hooray for being right, and boo that we're not going to get any more. So yeah. Okay, I'll give you back to other Bob. I'm kind of sad that basically the way that I'm visualing the patterns that I've been seeing in the development of this series, like, he's gonna stop at 12. But I hope that you guys have enjoyed this short little review. Again, if you're looking for spoilers, I guess just hang out a while and that video will drop eventually, but that's gonna be a thick boy because I'm gonna go over all 11 books with all the spoilery goodness. But I will see you guys in the next video, and until then, bye! Bye.